Alright. A god, however, is a superior being. Ask for clarification. What do you mean by that? A god has abilities far beyond our comprehension. These abilities render them superior to us mere mortals. Praise for backing. Can you back that up? My child, can you throw lightning or create storms? Did you create the world in 7 days? Did you turn your daughter into a tree for her own protection? But neither did the gods. Those are just stories, bro. No. Well, my child, each of these things was done by a god. No, they weren't. Clearly they are superior. Question relevance. How is that related to your conclusion? Accepting a god's superiority is a crucial step towards enlightenment. Here I begin to set you on that enlightened path. Everyone possesses wisdom far beyond our own. Ask for clarification. Everyone? Excuse me? You said everyone. Your point, child? Well, I've been assuming you were referring to the commands of a specific deity, but... Well, which god are we talking about? Gods. Give me strength to deal with this ingrate. That doesn't answer my question. Right now, is there a particular god giving you strength? Doesn't matter, there are many gods. Greek, Hebrew, Egyptian, Norse, here we go. There are differences between them, but any would fit the ideas I describe here. There are different gods added to the idea slate. I see. Good work, Dad! Uh-huh. You've uncovered an unstated part of Euthyphro's views by closely examining his arguments. Finding things like this can really help you out. If you don't have enough tools, the person you're debating might just hand you some. Now get back in there and find a larger problem. Wait, hold on, are you telling me this idea is going to be useful? I don't know, maybe. You're supposed to figure this out yourself, remember? I think I'm already pushing the helping you threshold, dead guy. Right. Arguments. My religious studies have given me insight into the nature of right and wrong. Human beings are fallible and fain they make mistakes, alright. A god, however, is a superior being. Challenge! There are different gods. This is wrong. Is it child? I think so. I'm not sure. See, like... I mean, you have to use these arguments at specific points. But I mean, why can't you use that? You say, okay, a god, however, is a superior being. Okay, so, but there are multiple gods. Are they all equally superior? Are some gods more superior than others? I want to know that. But the game says, okay, we can't do that, alright. Everyone possesses wisdom far beyond our own. Question relevance. Press for backing? Can you back that up? Being immortal, the gods have had infinite years of learning and experience. Their immortality gives them a perspective that we cannot hope to achieve. But it also gives them a perspective that is not mortal. So how can an immortal being judge a mortal? See what I mean? Like, how would they understand mortality? They understand a lot of things, they don't understand mortality, you know what I mean? Anyway. Wait, but isn't everyone here immortal in a sense? No, we're all dead, child, there's a difference. Is it? Wisdom is derived from experience with the world, and our experiences in that regard have ended. Speak for yourself, I'm not done yet. Question relevance? How is that related to your conclusion? The gods' superior wisdom is what gives them credibility as sources of morality, but wise does not necessarily mean good, right?
Nonsense.
A god's commands define what is good, child. By definition, under my philosophy, the way they apply their wisdom cannot be false. Your attempt to say so is based on your own perceptions of what is good, heretical notions developed by someone far less wise than a god. Everyone possesses wisdom far beyond our own. Thus, whatever a god commands must be good. Ask for clarification? What do you mean? Simply that the gods are the source of morality. There's no better place from which to receive guidance. Press for backing. Can you back that up? My child, who is more fit to judge morality, a wise man or a fool? But how do you know he's wise? How do you know the fool is not actually wiser? You know, a lot of really smart people are slightly insane too. You know, like a lot of really smart people are smart about some specific things, and they're just kind of not so smart about other things. That's kind of how intelligence works sometimes. As all gods have infinite wisdom, we should defer to their judgment. No, you should defer to their judgment. Thus, gods are the ideal source of morality. Alright, so we're going to challenge him here. There are different gods.
Nonsense!
Euthyphro, if we could stop for a moment, I'd like to clear up a few things. You said that different religions have different gods, right? Yes, child. And sometimes these gods have different views. Indeed, piety comes in many forms. Okay. Did I edit something up? I don't know. I may have found a problem here. Really? That's great. Go ahead and present it. Dad? Sorry, this is just a little intimidating. What if everyone laughs at me? Then you're a great comedian. That's great. Just present it, Dad. No one's gonna laugh at you. This isn't some deer repellent salesman. This is a real deal. Real things are at stake here, like me. Just present it. Okay. Euthyphro, there's a problem with your position. Is that so, child? It is so. Look, you claim that morality comes from the gods, that we can trust that whatever they command is right. But it seems to me that if the gods disagree, then that puts your idea in a weird place. You yourself said we can't judge their wills for ourselves, but when different gods think different things are good, what would actually be good? They would make the gods impossible to use as a source of morality. Right? Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. That was a pretty lackluster presentation, Dad. While this may be true, the validity of your argument is not rooted in style points. Despite lacking both flair and vocabulary, Socrates has a valid point, as I believe you already know Euthyphro. Yes, as I recall, the first Socrates made very similar points. And what? You just decided to ignore them? Arrogant. Like you, he lacked the faith required to see the truth. So if you don't realize, you probably should realize by now. So these are real historical figures, and what they're presenting here are summaries of their real historical philosophical arguments. So if you kind of just go to Wikipedia and type in their names, you can figure this stuff out. Or you can kind of read about them if you really want to. Yeah, this guy, what's this? The argument. The argument of his dialogue is based largely on definition by division. Socrates goads Euthyphro to offer one definition after another for the word piety. The hope is to use a clear definition as the basis for Euthyphro to teach Socrates the answer to the question, what is piety? Anyway, so if you want to listen to that. Like you, he lacked the faith required to see the truth. Your blasphemy will not take you as far as you think. Poor child, let me show you where you have lost your way. Alright, more talking. It is true that different deities have different desires in my religion and between religions. I admit that this may be a source of confusion. However, there are many points on which these divine beings agree. Oh, are they? For example, most deities agree that it is wrong to kill without cause, except for Hades. Clearly, what the gods agree upon is always good. Is that better, child? Well said, Euthyphro. Thank you, Arbiter. As you can see, my child, the gods overcome all obstacles. What are you thinking, Dad? Well, his argument is certainly more nuanced now, but something tells me it won't stand up to examination. Haha, get mad, bro. I'm sorry, Euthyphro, but I still have some questions for you. It is true that different deities have different desires in my religion and between religions. I don't think we need to question about that. I admit that this may be a source of confusion, right? However, there are many points on which these divine beings agree. Ask for clarification. What do you mean by that? Just because gods disagree on some things does not mean they disagree on all. Okay. Crystal backing. Can you back that up? Be patient, my child. I'll get to it. Right. Question relevance. How is this related to your conclusion? The fact that the gods can agree is essential to debunking your ridiculous objection. No, your ridiculous objection. For example, most deities agree that it is wrong to kill without cause. Ask for clarification. What do you mean by that? Okay. To take the life of another is wrong. You're saying that, or the gods are saying that? Many gods agree about this, don't you? Press for backing. Can you back that up? Are you familiar with the Quran? Anyone who kills a human being, it shall be as though he killed all of mankind. That comes from the Torah, from the Jewish Torah as well, although it seems to be conspicuously absent from the Christian Bible. Anyone who kills a human being, it shall be as though he has killed all mankind. But the opposite is also true, like anyone who saves a life, it shall be as though he has saved all of mankind. So the idea is that the scale of the crime or the deed, the scale of the deed is not important. It's the nature of the deed that is important in that particular religion, or in the concept of justice in that particular religion. And in Hinduism, he who commits murder must be considered as the worst offender. There are countless examples throughout religions. Question relevance. How is this related to your conclusion? It is an example reaffirming my point. Dad, do you really need such a layout for you? Most deities agree it's wrong to kill without cause. Challenge. There are different gods.
Nonsense!
Hold on, Euphoria. You yourself admitted that there are many gods, and sure, most gods agree upon this. But what about the ones who disagree, or the gods who are plain evil, like Hades, for example? Hades is not evil. He just keeps your souls in hell. But what? My child, the keeper of the dead isn't evil. Yeah, no, he's not. Really? He was in the movie. Look, it doesn't matter. The question is, how does that factor into your philosophy? I was very careful to outline the fact that this philosophy is based on divine majority. I suppose there could be outliers, but ultimately they would be insignificant to the larger picture. Most deities agree it's wrong to kill without cause. Clearly what the gods agree upon is always good. Ask for clarification. What do you mean by that? If the gods agree upon something, we can be sure that something is good. Their collective wisdom is incalculable after all. Press of backing, can you back that up? Excuse me. Why couldn't something the gods agree on be bad?
Nonsense!
The gods, in their superior wisdom, would never agree upon something that wasn't good. They would only tell us to do things that would lead to positive ends. To suggest otherwise is blasphemy. Wait a minute. Blasphemy is different from morality. Huh, interesting. Indeed, and if you don't mind, I have to further examine that idea. New statement added. Clearly what the gods agree upon is always good, for surely if things are good, the gods will agree upon them. If things are good, then the gods will agree upon them. I don't know if you're still following this, but I can tell you the problem pretty soon. Let's just question it a bit more. What do you mean by that? I mean that if the gods look at something, they would not all agree upon it unless it was clearly moral or immoral. Press for backing, can you back that up? We have established that gods possess infinite wisdom, have we not? No. Well, you have, I haven't. While there may be some slight variance between them, these infinitely wise beings will surely come down on the same side when dealing with important matters, except they don't. Like the aforementioned example of murder. Question relevance? How is this related to conclusion? It shows why the previous statement can stand as true. Alright, I'm going to challenge him. Morality comes from the gods. Euphoria believes that things are good because gods like them. But now he's saying that gods agree on things because they are good. See the problem here? Anyway, I'll just click on this.
Nonsense!
What now, child? Yes, it's clearly gonna be like that again. No, pull yourself together, Socrates. You have a point to make, so make it. Yes, Socrates, do it. Did you intend to speak, child, or did you just shout nonsense for your own amusement? That too. Right, sorry. Okay, Euthyphro, the core of your argument is that morality comes from the gods, right? Yes, my child. And this is true because God will only command what is good, yes? Also true, there may be hope for you yet. Is that so? Because I think you just revealed a major problem in your argument. Dun dun dun! I have no idea what you mean, child. Really? Well then, let me ask you one last question. Are things good because God command them, or do God merely command things because they're good? Oh snap! Exclamation! What? Get punched, fool. Look, Euthyphro, you have said over and over that the gods would never ask us to do something bad. That they restrict their commands to things which will be good for mankind. But in order for this to be true, wouldn't the things they command have to already be good? Are you guys following this? They would need to have value rooted in something other than the gods. Oh, nice catch, Dad. Yes. The fact is, even in the world where gods existed, they could not be the source of good. They would merely serve to point out good things which already exist. Good things that are good because of other things. Excellent point, Socrates Jones. Very clearly presented. Clap, 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 clap. Hey, clap, guys. Yeah, clap. I agree, although maybe I should quote you on vocab. Things isn't exactly a scholarly term. Thanks, I think. But I'm most concerned with Euthyphro's thoughts. What do you say, Euthyphro? Are moral actions good because the gods command them, or do the gods command moral actions because they are good? ... No! Explosions! Just as I thought, you've got nothing. You talk a big game, but you clearly haven't thought your points through. There's no way I can accept this argument as my own. It's too holy. Insolent wretch. I tried to save you, and this is how you repay me. You won't last to win your way out of here, child. The gods will smite you for your blasphemy. Will they? Somehow I think I'll be fine. I've already died once, after all. What more could happen? Exclamation! There are no limits on the extent of smiting. Just you wait. You'll be nothing but a pile of dust, of smolder. A warning to all who dare insult the gods. I only insulted you, bro. Silence! I believe we've heard enough from you, Euthyphro. Socrates was right to question you. In the end, your philosophy failed to measure up. Go and reflect upon this. Yeah, go sit in the corner. Go and reflect. Alright, so that's the end of that chapter. So the idea that morality comes from the gods, I mean, I have a... Oh, that's not good. Shockwave Flash is not responding. I hope that... Okay, that sorts itself out. Alright, so... Did you guys follow that? So, what Euthyphro was saying was that morality comes from the gods. And whatever the gods say, it must be true. Because the gods are, according to him, immortal and infinitely wise and all that kind of stuff. But then, after a bit of questioning, because the gods disagree, and even if you believe that there's only one God, like if you're Christian, for example, or Muslim, I guess, or Jewish, I mean, if you believe there's only one God, the problem is that if you look at the religious texts, you look at the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, it contradicts itself. So even within the Bible, like in the Old Testament, it talks about an eye for an eye, taking revenge, or a crime should be punished by an equal punishment. And then in the New Testament, Jesus comes along and says, "Turn the other cheek." So I mean, it contradicts itself. Like, do we go with an eye for an eye, or do we go with turn the other cheek? And so what people do is usually they just kind of take the parts that that they like and run with it, and ignore the parts of the Bible that actually contradict what they think. And humans do that a lot, with a lot of things, so it's not really that surprising. So the idea is that, gods disagree on certain things. And even within a single religion where there's only one God, what people say about the gods also contradict each other. I mean, I don't know anything about, the god himself or herself or itself, but what people say about the gods, or what people say about God, often contradict each other. And so then, how do you know what's truly correct, what's truly moral, right? And then Euthyphro, changes that up a bit and say, well, if the majority of the gods agree, then that must be good. So then the problem with his argument then is, if the gods have to agree on something, then that something comes from something other than a god, right? It's different from the if whatever God says is right. Whatever the God says, that's correct. That's different from the gods having to agree on what is correct. If they can disagree, then obviously the idea comes from somewhere other than the God, if that makes sense. Like if I tell you, 1 plus 1 equals 3, and then I'm a god, then 1 plus 1 does equals 3, right? But if there's two of us, if I say 1 plus 1 equals 3, and you say 1 plus 1 equals 2, and we have to, argue about that, then the idea of numbers and plus and 1, 2, and 3, then those ideas must come from somewhere other than us, because otherwise we can't have this disagreement. So the problem is that, as he says, does morality come from the gods, or are the gods simply agreeing on morality, which must mean that it comes from somewhere else? If there can be disagreement about it, then it can't come from gods. So that's the idea, keeping in mind that he's Greek, and so that's a long time ago, and they haven't really thought this stuff through back then. Alright, I'm going to stop rambling here. And chapter 2, an old friend appears. Alright, so when we come back, we'll go to the next philosopher. Oh, see you guys